Hello. And welcome back to another Tubi movie review where we review the finest cinema that Tubi has to offer and we challenge the hierarchy of the Tubi cinema. Or sometimes we just look at some bad shit and we talk about it. That's fine too. But either
Or that.
way, today we have a wonderful movie. Leslie's pick. She's double dipping. She's in the franchise and we're going to let her tell you about two wrongs too.
Yes, I brought it back because I knew how much I loved it last time. You're welcome.
Who told you that? Who told you that?
You, your heart of hearts. We have that twinergy. So I know what you were saying out of your mouth, but I know what you felt in your heart. So you're welcome.
Yeah, you knew. You knew.
All right. So this is Two Wrong Two, which came out this year, 2023. The director, once again, Shel Purcell, the star of the show, Miss Liberty herself. She is also the executive producer and the writer. So we know this is her baby. You know, she holds two wrongs dear to her heart. So
Clearly.
So we start in Act 1, which is the setup, and it begins at Lydia's house, where she's being comforted by a new character, Avery Daniels, who is actually her this now deceased husband, is what we learned, Pastor Daniels' brother. So Avery goes around, he introduces himself to Liberty and Julia, and he immediately offends Lydia at Pastor Daniels' repast. So we go to Liberty's office where Avery brings her some roses to apologize, and they just agree they got off on the wrong foot. Let's just start over. So next, Julie walks in, throws his flowers away, and plans to, starts to make plans with Lydia about going to dinner with the girls. When Avery just invites himself, he was like, oh yeah, I'll see you at dinner. And so him and Julie kind of go back and forth a little bit. And then he leaves. So Liberty and Julie discuss Julie's breakup. Liberty's like, hey, you've been a little like snappy lately. Are you sure you're okay? And she's like, I'm fine. I'm getting over it, whatever. And, she's like, I'm moving on, so I'm not worried about it. So they decide to solidify their dinner plans. And that's when they actually meet up with Erica. So it's Liberty and Erica at dinner first. They're discussing Vanessa and how Erica and Vanessa have tension because, if we remember, Vanessa had a son with Jason, and Jason is now in relationship with Erica.
There's so many moving parts here.
It's given like what they call stories, the stories that we used to watch.
Like Days of Our Lives.
Soap operas.
Yeah, it's given like we need like a chart to like connect all these things to see who slept with who has a baby with whom, all that stuff. So yeah, Erica said that she's upset with Liberty because apparently Liberty told Vanessa that her and Jason are living together, and Erica said, hey, don't talk about me if it don't pertain to, what's going on with Javion. She was like, I don't want her to know my business because we know she's catty, so let's just leave it with Javion. So that's when the waitress walks in with Julie and attempts to sit Julie at a separate table from Erica and Lydia. And Julie's like, I'm supposed to be sitting with my friends over there. And that's when Avery walks in. He's like, no, this is our table, trying to be all like smooth with it or whatever. So he, walks up with flowers, trying to lay it on thick. And of course, Julie, having the same attitude as before, she's irritated. She like storms off to Liberty and Erica's table. And they just kind of say, just give him a chance to apologize. Just go sit, have a meal. It's not that big of a deal. We're right here type of thing. So she goes back, accepts his flowers, and they end up having dinner. So that was all the introduction. And now we're gearing up to Act 2, which is the confrontation. And this is like the rising action that leads up to this confrontation. So we see that Vanessa arrives at Jason's and Erica's home, and she's upset because he didn't disclose that he was still in a relationship with Erica. And Vanessa was under the impression when Jason said, hey, I want you to move back, that she thought he wanted to be in a relationship with her, when in fact he just wanted to be closer to his son so he could spend more time with his son instead of being, in a long distance situation with his son. So Vanessa and Erica end up exchanging words once again, and Vanessa threatens if Jason continues to see Erica, then she'll prohibit him from seeing Javion, which, we've heard about all too often with situations like this, which is sad. So next, Avery makes some food for Lydia, and she's telling him about her new friend Natalie that she met in the support meeting, how great she is. And then Avery starts to talk about his date with Julie and mentions that he wants to, get to know all the ladies, which is like Liberty, Erica, Vanessa, all of them. And Lydia is kind of like, why though? Like, she's like, that's kind of weird.
Yeah.
They leave it at that, right? So then we go to Kevin's, good old Kevin. We go to Kevin's office where he is talking to his father, and they're discussing a new client named Miss Kingston. Kevin is actually concerned because he could tell that Miss Kingston wants him, and he just doesn't want to jeopardize like the repair that him and Liberty have done with their relationship. He doesn't want to cheat again, doesn't want her to give any reason to doubt him.
I don't want to cheat no more.
Girl, he a mess.
Look, man, he's reformed. You got to give that brother credit.
Is he?
No, because like he was crushing a lot of pussy. And he decided like, I'm going to set all of that aside. I'm going to focus on my lady. You know what? I respect that, bro. I see you. I see you.
Well, we know the apple didn't fall too far from the tree because his father encouraged him to do what he has to do. Like, son, do it. It's like his daddy ain't no good either. So
his father might have been a trip. I can't co-sign on him. I was like, ooh, wow, damn. And at work too. Wow, okay. Wow.
Okay. Well, but again, like his father owns the office. Kevin is the golden boy. He's gonna inherit it. So they kind of like make up their own rules essentially. So, So Kevin ends up meeting up with Jason to show him Miss Kingston's picture. He describes her as a supermodel and that he doesn't want to be tempted and mess up in his marriage again. So next we see that Liberty actually is trying to get Vanessa and Erica to hash out their differences by setting up a meeting in her office. She invites Julie as well. And it didn't go like she thought she would. She thought that it was in a kumbaya moment, but instead some fighting words were exchanged. Vanessa mentioned that Erica can't have children because she had too many abortions in the past.
Scandalous.
That's such a low blow. Like, first of all, it's none of your business. Even if I did tell you, that's none of your business to throw back in my face. Like, you are. And yeah,
she always took the lowest route she could possibly find.
Facts. I don't understand how they're still friends with her after what happened in the first movie. Like, to me, ain't no coming back from that, but I digress. So Erica ends up storming out of the office, visibly upset. So next we go to Kevin and Liberty as they're meeting with Dr. Graves, their therapist, to discuss how things have been going in their relationship. And Dr. Graves actually asked if either of them have made a better decision this week than they would have in the past. And so Liberty's like, no, like I don't have nothing new to add. But Kevin says yes. And so Liberty looking at him like, well, this is the first time I'm hearing about it. Like, what do you mean? You have something to tell me? And now she's on the defense instead of just, being able to hear him out. She's thinking that he's hiding something, probably thinking he's cheating again. All these thoughts go in Liberty's head. So Dr.
Didn't even give him a chance.
She did. She was immediately on the defense. And so with that, Dr. Graves tells them they need to take a break because Liberty won't be able to receive whatever Kevin has to tell her. So Kevin goes out of the office while Liberty still talks to Dr. Graves. And Dr. Graves just like, Liberty, what's going on? What's wrong? Because I can tell it's much deeper than this. So she mentions, there's a new client at Kevin's office. She said that her friends are upset at each other. Her cycle is late. Avery shaded her, at Pastor Daniel's repast. And she doesn't know how to tell Kevin that he's not KJ's biological father. And she also thinks she might be pregnant. I can't remember if I mentioned that one. So
she did. The thing was late. Yeah.
Yeah. Cycle was late. Yeah. So Dr. Graves is just like, woo. Listen, take a breath. That's a lie. And she just encourages her to, number one, of course, take a pregnancy test to see if that's where, these emotions also could be coming from. But then she suggests that she tell Kevin the truth about KJ. And she even says, like, he may already know that he's not, but still loves him anyway,
Mm-hmm.
So then Liberty walks into Kevin's office to apologize after the therapy session. She recognizes how she was wrong in that reaction and not being able to hear him out clearly. So then she straddles him and they begin kissing. And that's when Miss Kingston.
I like how you just casually said that shit. Like, straddles him, man.
And they just start kissing like that out of the office.
Right. Like she opened a bag of chips. She took one out.
I mean, that's how they was treating it. It was just so casual, just like wooty woo. But again, this is Kevin and his
That's
dad's
his office, and the shit was closed.
Well, it
I
wasn't
know
Until it
locked.
wasn't.
Right, it wasn't locked.
Now she should have knocked. That's her own business. You saw what you saw because you ain't knocked.
Well, you know, Miss Kingston, she don't care because she's kinky. So Miss Kingston walked into his office,
literally all the way in.
Okay, invited herself right in. And so they, you know, a little startled, like this. And so Kevin introduces them and asks her to give him and Liberty just, you know, a moment to speak alone to themselves, get themselves together. So as soon as Miss Kingston leaves, Liberty asks Kevin, is she going to be a thing? Like, what's up with her? What's up? So Kevin, he just continues to tell Liberty, like, you know, it's not going to be a thing. And then he's like, ask me again and ask me again. And that's when they get back to doing what they do, right? So then Kevin walks into the conference room with his pants unzipped. And Miss Kingston zips them and says she wouldn't want this seductively too. She says she wouldn't want the team to think she was the reason his pants were unzipped. Then she wipes his lips, licks her finger, and says his wife tastes great. I said, ma'am.
Fortune favors the bold.
Well, she must have good fortune because she sure is bold. So now we're seeing Julie walking out of school. I assume she's a teacher, and she sees Avery standing in front of the school on his motorcycle holding a bouquet of flowers. He loves giving some flowers. He is a flower man. I know he got a good account with 1-800-Flowers or something. So
there was a time in my life that I really believed that flowers were the way to a lot of things. I even had a relationship with the florist, so I get that.
So she says, you know, he offers a bouquet of flowers, asks her, you know, to go for a ride. And she says she'll consider riding if he kisses her. So he reminds her that she says she doesn't kiss unless she considers that she's dating that person. And she tells him again to kiss her. And so he does. And she hops on. They ride off into the sunset. So I guess that solidifies them dating. So next, Liberty meets Rosewood Jameson as she's running in the park.
That's a name right there. Rosewood Jameson.
It really is. They spark up a brief conversation, and he says the next time he sees her out by herself, he's going to ask her out. And she's like, don't bother. I'm married and I love my husband. So, what you mean,
So what?
That's how guys be. You got a man. You can't have friends. Like, oh my God.
What Jay-Z say? You an adult.
Act like an adult having he said, grow up acting like an adult having an affair for once.
Having an affair.
Wait, he said what?
It's in Best of Me Part 2.
Mm-hmm.
But say it slower. You said it's
affair for once.
Yeah.
An adult having an affair for once.
Yeah, because it's like he said, making me chase you around for months, grow up, be an adult, have an affair for once. Yeah.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Niggas ain't shit.
The logic. Okay.
Like there are ladies out here doing the same thing. I've seen them. They be out here. Hey, hoochie daddy, what you doing in them gray sweatpants? I see you. Your girlfriend don't let you have friends.
I mean, when you put your legs up there like that, what you expect?
You see, and this is how this shit happens. This is just how it happens.
I know how we feel. All right. So Julie is pacing back and forth as she's explained to Liberty everything that's happened between her and Avery. This is in Julie's home. And Erica comes in and she says it sounds like they're dating and a new guy is basically the best way to get over an old one. So at that moment, Avery rings.
Getting under a new guy.
She missed that part.
An old one. I just feel like we need to say that. You know,
I mean, who can prove that? I don't know. So Avery rings Julie's doorbell and immediately picks her up and starts kissing her passionately. So he didn't realize Liberty and Erica are there. So they're like, and so he puts her down once he notices them. And then the ladies say goodbye so him and Julie can proceed to have sex. So Julie thanks Avery for making her feel wanted and appreciated. And he basically tells her that he wants to make her feel like that, you know, if she'll let him. And that she's all he's been thinking about since his brother's repass. So he's a good one. He made it look good, made it sound good, very passionate with this. So believable, right? So Erica comes home and immediately screams for Jason. He comes to tell her to be quiet because Javion just fell asleep. And Javion immediately starts crying. So that's when Vanessa walks down with him saying, throwing this in Erica's face, saying how all three of them laid down together in order to get him to go to sleep. Why that was necessary, I don't know.
You
but
know
you
why
know
it was
how
necessary.
Vanessa's
You know
very
exactly why it
vindictive.
was necessary.
Yes. Vanessa for vindictive, yes. So that's when Erica and Vanessa start going back and forth once again. And that's when Vanessa reveals to Jason that Erica can't have kids because of her abortions. So Jason looks, shocked to learn this news, and he asks Erica if it's true. And he just, kind of comforts her as Vanessa storms out or whatever. So, with that being said, Erica goes to the bathroom because the next thing we see how Jason calls Kevin and asks him to tell Liberty to come over and check on Erica because she's locked herself in the bathroom. She's not responding and he's worried. So, Liberty and Julie come over while Jason, Kevin, and Javion go get something to eat. The girls run upstairs to talk to Erica through the door. She's not responding, so Liberty basically slips her hand underneath the little crack in the door and just asks her to touch it so she knows she's okay. So that's when Erica unlocks the door and they rush in to find her sitting in the tub. So how she unlocked the door?
From the door to the tub.
I don't know how she did that fast. But they end up sitting in the tub with her and comforting
That's black
her.
girl magic right there.
There you go.
That is
1000%. So next we see Liberty walking into Vanessa's office, and Vanessa's immediately like, "It's about Erica. I don't want to hear it." But Lydia has to like give her a reality check and just remind Vanessa how like they've always been there for her, even when she's selfish and trying to sabotage Jason and Erica, even though she don't really want Jason. She's just mad that Erica is with him. So then we see Julie comes over to help Lydia look through some of Pastor Daniel's belongings, and she finds this piece of paper in a Bible and puts it in her pocket while Lydia is getting wine. So we don't know what's on that paper yet, but we're gonna find out a little later.
Hey y'all, it's your girl Shonda Dunn, and I'm here to tell y'all that we now have merch up live. You can find some t-shirts, you can find puzzles, you can find candles, whatever you want, we got it. Come check us out at culture101podcast.com.
So then we go back to Erica and Jason's home where she's in the bathroom getting all dolled up, doing her makeup, and Jason comes in to check on her. And that's when he like confesses that he was scared when she broke down. It made him realize how much he loved her and how much he didn't want to live without her. And he just loves how she's been a mother figure in Javion's life, and he doesn't care if she can have kids on her own. But he wants to, be with her. So he gets down on one knee and he proposes. Initially, she thinks that he's doing it out of pity because of what just happened, but he reassures her like, "No, I love you. I think you're amazing. I want to be with you." And he says, "Say yes." And so she does. She says yes. So they're engaged. All right. So this is when the stakes start to get higher, right? We start to find out what's really going on. So Miss Kingston and Kevin are viewing a new office space for her when she confesses that she likes him and wants him. So he initially refuses, but she kisses him anyway, and then she invites him to an exclusive party that she only throws twice a year. So we go to this party now. Liberty is irritated instantly walking up, to Miss Kingston's home with Kevin because she knows that she's been coming on to her husband and she doesn't appreciate it. And so once they get inside, Kevin goes to get Liberty a drink. And that's when Rosewood, he always popping up on Liberty. He walks up behind her and just starts flirting again. And it's just so weird because you're like, why are all these people like coming so hard at these married people, right? And in the midst of him flirting, Miss Kingston, gathers everyone's attention to thank Kevin for all his hard work. And she just, has so much admiration for him, making him feel good. And Liberty is seeing this. She's watching Miss Kingston like flirt with her husband right in front of her face. And so that's when Avery actually walks up to Liberty and says that KJ is his brother's son and asks if Kevin knows. Go to the next scene, which is Liberty and Kevin in their closet getting ready for church. And Liberty holds up the unopened paternity test because now that Avery is saying this, she's like, okay, I think it's time that we actually find out for ourselves if KJ is in fact Kevin's son. And Kevin's like, no. He was like, I'm his father. You being with Pastor Daniels one time is not going to make him KJ's father.
My child.
But
but it does.
It only takes one time.
But it does. But it does. Like, you could be with him for 10 seconds, could make him your son, but whatever. It's fine.
So Avery arrives at Liberty's office to ask if she's given their conversation any thought. And she replies no, and that she's not bothered by his threats to expose her. So he insults her by saying he sees why people fall for her. She's beautiful, owns her own business, and is probably great in bed. So she slaps him, and he immediately starts choking her. So what? How did we get here? She pulls out her gun, and he immediately puts his hands up and backs up. I know that's right. So she tells him to get out, and he threatens to take KJ and have him and Lydia raise him, which makes no sense.
No sense at all.
KJ's with his mother. Like, why would the uncle and dad's widow raise him? Like, what? So he leaves, and Liberty's assistant walks in to comfort her. So then we're at Miss Kingston's home where, like, the plot is revealed, right? All right, we're getting to the nitty-gritty of it all. So Rosewood is at Miss Kingston's home when she asks what's taking him so long to get Liberty into his bed. Then he asks what's taking her so long to sleep with Kevin. So we find out they're in groups together. Natalie, Lydia's friend from the support group, is also there, and we find out that she and Miss Kingston are sisters. And Natalie is also in on their grand plan. So Natalie walks in to share that Avery's plan to get Julie to fall for him is working. So all of them are in cahoots together, which is crazy.
Keep on going. I'm just going to wait to the end. I'm going to wait to the end. I have thoughts. I have thoughts.
Okay, we're almost there. So Liberty, now we're back in the park where Liberty's tying her shoe when Rosewood literally like runs into her. So he has to help her back to his car.
Every time he run up on her behind.
He's like so weird. Like, what? So he helps her to his car to patch her arm when he leans in to kiss her twice. She, keeps pushing him off like, what you doing? Like, relax. And she basically like, what do you want from me? Like, why are you doing this? And Rosewood says, oh, Kevin's sleeping with Miss Kingston. And Liberty's like, no, you're lying. And he says, no, it's true. And that Liberty deserves better. And Liberty says, you know what? Stay away from me. I ain't got time for this. And she walks off. So Alicia, who's Kevin's assistant, comes in to let him know that Liberty called and that Miss Kingston is there to see him. And Miss Kingston barges in and starts to undress him like aggressively. And he tries to refuse just as Liberty bangs on his locked door. Excuse me. So once Liberty is inside, she threatens Miss Kingston and tells Kevin that she's picking up KJ. He better beat her there. Don't meet me there. Beat me there. I love that.
What's that?
I love that thing.
You don't know what's going on with my car and traffic in this parking lot?
Figure it out. All right, so now we start Act 3, which is a resolution, and it begins with the crisis, right? Everything coming to a head. So Julie and Natalie are at Lydia's home when Avery walks in to tell them that Pastor Daniels is KJ's father. Initially, Lydia doesn't believe it because she said Pastor Daniels would have told her, but Avery said he didn't want to hurt her, especially with him dying of cancer. So then Avery says he saw Julie stick the DNA test results in her pocket the other day when she grabbed that paper out the Bible. And Julie admits, like, I just wanted to discuss it with Liberty first. I, didn't know, like, it wasn't my place to say anything. So Lydia stands up upset since she was kept in the dark. And that's when Natalie admits that Avery reached out to her to help him get KJ and that Miss Kingston was in on it too. So Julie gets up to leave when Lydia stands up, very upset, and, tells everyone to get out. And Avery basically says he's going to go take his nephew, and anyone that has a problem with it just can come see him. Like, sir, sit down somewhere. So at this point, Julie questions Avery's motive for being with her. She's like, were you just trying to be with me to get close to Liberty? Like, what's going on? And he admits that, initially that was his plan, but says that he actually fell in love with her, and he does truly
love her. Rom-com.
I know.
It wasn't a telenovela.
That's what it is, a telenovela for real. So Avery tells Julie she's going to help him take KJ. Don't ask, he tells. She's going to help him take KJ, and he even pulls out a ring. And we see Julie falling for it. She's swooning, and she agrees to help him. So we thinking like, come on, Julie. Girl.
Do better, girl.
Right. So then Lydia tries to talk some sense into Avery, but it doesn't work. And he tells her they'll complete their plan and she'll pay all of them with Pastor Daniels' insurance money. How you gonna come up with the plan, not even have the money to execute the plan? You want to use my money to execute the plan I didn't ask for? What? So now we have the fall in action, which is where Julie walks into Liberty's home while she's pulling toys out for KJ. Julie starts playing with him, and that's when Kevin walks in, and Julie starts telling them about everything Avery planned, right? And she sees the test results, and that she saw the test results confirming KJ is Pastor Daniel's son. So that's when Julie picks up KJ and she begins like backing up towards the door. Mind you, she don't have no weapon or nothing. She's just holding her son, backing up. And they're like, Julie, put him down. I'm like, if y'all don't go get your child,
get that baby.
It made no sense. So as she's backing up, she's just like expressing her love for Avery and saying that she'll be an amazing wife and amazing mother to KJ. It's like, girl, that's not your child. Like, so,
oh my God.
Liberty's assistant then walks in with Avery, pointing a gun toward Liberty and Kevin. And he tells them, I'm here to take KJ. So Avery and Kevin start to tussle with the gun. Meanwhile, Julie runs out the house with KJ while Liberty and her assistant chase after her. Julie puts KJ into a car with an unknown driver and the driver speeds off. So we're like, wait, where KJ going? What's going on? So then Liberty tries to chase after the car, but stops when she hears a gunshot back in the house. So they run, all the women run back in the house, and we see that Avery shot Kevin, and he starts to create an elaborate story to tell the police what happened. And then Liberty's assistant runs to the kitchen to get Kevin a towel for his wound, and she ends up slipping a large, knife inside the towel. So Liberty starts talking, and she says, my friend Julie, kind of like signaling to Julie. Julie ends up taking the knife that's wrapped in the towel and walks up to Avery and stabs him with it. And then he falls to the ground. So now we're at the resolution of it all. So some time has passed, and it's KJ's and Javion's birthday. The women are inside discussing what happened, and that's when Julie reveals that she played her part, but she was always on Liberty's side, even though the sex with Avery was amazing and she really did care for him. So some of the ladies go outside while Vanessa rings the doorbell with gifts in hand, and she ends up seeing Erica walking out of the bathroom visibly pregnant, and they hug, and that was their, reconciliation. So then Liberty and Julie are discussing how Kevin was adamant that he was always KJ's father, and that Avery survived, but he was still in the hospital facing conspiracy charges, and that Jason and Erica are engaged in planning their wedding. So we kind of get a wrap up of everybody's story. So they all hug, and they're looking down from the deck, watching Lydia push KJ, and it's revealed that Lydia was the one that was driving the SUV that Julie put KJ in to protect him, to get him away from all the chaos that was happening. And that's when Vanessa comes out on the deck, and they all hug again, and Jason just kind of looks up at Vanessa irritated, and that's how it ends.
Bravo! That was a hell of a movie. Can I just say that it took me the first 30 minutes to realize that it was Two Wrongs Too? Everybody just looked so fucking different. I didn't know I was watching the same movie. I was like,
I didn't know. Okay, I'm going to say one name, and then I'm done. Jason. Then I'm done. And I'm done. And I'm done. And I'm done. I substantiate Sean's point. That's all I'm going to say.
8 years have passed, so
it don't matter.
You can tell the 8 years have passed.
Yeah.
You can absolutely tell the 8 years have passed. Like, everybody looked different.
8 years in real life, audience. 8 years in real life, not in the movie sense, but in real life.
I don't give a fuck if 8 days have passed. Continuity. Y'all couldn't work it out. Y'all couldn't work it out.
Figure that out.
All the man wigs and stuff they got now. He didn't want to get in the gym. Like, what's up? I'm coming at him. I don't want to come at him. I don't know what's going on.
To be fair, some men gain weight. They gain sympathy weight when their wives are pregnant. So maybe that's what their angle was.
And then each but
this your job, man. You look like a whole different person.
Right. And like what's the opposite of sympathy? Apathy? Yeah, eat you an apathy meal and get it the fuck together. That's what I'm talking about. That's exactly what it needs to happen.
I mean, they don't look the same to me. I mean, Vanessa still
had on look different. Vanessa looked different.
Vanessa had on them color contacts looking crazy.
And then Julie looked different too, because she finally got her hair together.
Which one of them had a badass wig on? Was that Vanessa?
Julie was the first one that had the terrible wig in the first one. It wasn't much better.
Always looked terrible to me too, though. Yeah, her hair was no better.
But like but like it's a white lady, that's her hair, whatever. But
that was not her hair.
Like all I'm saying is like that wig was just whatever. It wasn't terrible, but it wasn't amazing. I felt like the worst wig belonged to
Julie.
who was trying oh my god, that wig. Horrible.
Especially the first one. Like it was
worse than first season Insecure Molly wig. You know what I'm saying? Like worse than that. Worse than that.
Like goodness gracious.
Molly catches strays. Sorry, Yvonne.
They did that on purpose, though. They did that on purpose. So, like, shout out to the costume designer for being very thorough. That's all I'm gonna say. In this one, they needed a costume designer. Maybe that's what they needed.
There's the budget, and they can only fit with work with what they can. So something got to go.
Oof.
Clearly, a lot of things went. But that's all right. That's all right.
So, what are y'all thoughts on it? I know you have notes, Tristan. You like to get technical.
Yeah, you can go first. I don't have much to say except I was not impressed.
Yeah, like it very much better than the first one. I know you like the first one. I did not
like it. The first one was good. The second one I could have done without.
Okay.
They took it too far, and everybody is messing with this person, and then these people really undercover, and they trying to do
kidnapping.
This. That kidnapping. That was you letting somebody. If I was the cops, I'd have been like, so she just walked out with nothing? So you allowed her to take your baby.
Right.
So y'all didn't jump on her, nothing? You just...
Yeah, what?
Yeah, so you thought she was going to hurt the baby, but you thought it was smarter for her to leave with the baby than leave the house.
Right. That made no sense to me. I agree.
Johnson, we're done here. Pack it up. We're done here.
And then the whole stabbing of it all, it was just like... Right.
Let me tell you about this movie here. Okay. This movie was a bad TV series. And honestly, if it had been a bad soap opera, I would have let it ride. Like if this was 10 episodes of a bad soap opera, I'd have been like, you know what? I accept what y'all are trying to do here. But you had the audacity to make this shit a movie and to sit up here and call it a cinematic gem of some sort. And then to stand on this shit, and then to come back to this well to draw water again, I just can't even believe. This is ridiculous. I mean, some of the love scenes were okay. That 40 band love scene was decent. The pastor's wife, at first I didn't realize he died from cancer, so I was like, well, how's she still living? And I was like, how's she still living?
They kept it a secret until like when Avery mentioned it towards the end. I'm like, how did he die? What did he die of? It was confusing.
Yeah. And they were so laissez-faire about his death. Just like, yeah, he died.
Yeah, he died. Cool.
It's another Tuesday. I'm like, what?
Yeah, well, I was like, y'all should be a little more concerned about this. But maybe they made their peace with it. But like, I don't know how you did that, because supposedly this movie plays damn near right after the other one, like 6 months after or something, right?
Right, exactly.
So y'all found out he had cancer that day, or like what happened?
Yeah, it was
when
very
they looked
weird.
At the cast and realized everybody looked different, they should have edited that into the movie and said it was a couple years later.
Right?
Yeah.
You could have said, I would have accepted 3 years later. I would have accepted that. That's fine.
That's fair.
Fine. You know, Kevin's father, a fucking trip. Law. She said, get in there, son.
A mess.
I said, oh my God.
A mess.
Said, get in there, son.
That's why Kevin is the way he is now.
There is. The transitions in that movie, ridiculous. The transitions, ridiculous.
Yeah, it was very choppy.
Like, I was upset with your editor. Like y'all could have done something different. Like y'all could have had an establishing shot. Y'all could, if it was a TV series, y'all could have done anything. But this is what y'all did. But whatever. Jason, he just, you know what, Jason, do your thing, bro. Do your thing. Go hard, bro. I'm not gonna get on you. But
you already did.
That's fine. So that happened already. Great.
Not again.
Not again. Exactly. It's not necessary. The best acting moment in the movie, I do want to shine some positives on this movie. Between Liberty and Vanessa, when Liberty came to chew Vanessa out about how nasty she had been, like that scene was probably the most moving scene in terms of like emotion. It felt pretty real, and that's all you're gonna get out of me. That's it.
We'll take it.
There's nothing else. There's nothing else on the pros list.
That's enough. We'll take it.
That was the pros list, because that didn't feel like all pros.
That was it. That was all there was. That was
the only one. Like pros and cons.
That was only one pro. That was it. That was the one. That's
it. You can't find anything else?
Well, I mean, you got black people working. I like that.
Black
You got
jobs.
black folk
Black
working.
jobs. Create
A
black
black woman
jobs.
producer. I like that.
Love it.
I
Love
like
it.
that she wrote it. I mean, you let your creativity. You got it made. You
Mhm.
got it made.
Okay.
We love it. And you got the original cast back together. That was something.
After
That
8
was something
years,
right
that's
there.
quite a feat. Yeah.
Absolutely. But we have a few other things. So and then maybe Rosewood, like because maybe and then Kingston
Rose was annoying.
Well, no, just the choice of that name. Maybe you were as a throwback to Slavery House, a dangerous time for the black codes. So maybe that was a deep thing there. And then Kingston, there's unrest in Kingston. They know that's a very dangerous part of Jamaica, you know. So she's more inner city than pretty, you know. So maybe that's what that was going on here. I don't know.
No, my feelings just got hurt, and you wasn't even talking about me. Damn.
You know, I don't know. I just
city then pretty.
I need to put that on a t-shirt. I'm about to start a new line of our merch
I'm
with
more
t-shirts
in
with
a
quotes.
city than pretty.
That's a bar.
Oh man.
You more in a city than pretty.
I do what I can. You know, I'm here to give gems to the culture if we can. Yeah, that gunfight, that knife fight. I don't want to talk no more about it. It's just going to upset me. Because that was ridiculous.
It was
that was
weak.
damn ridiculous. Yeah. I was just like, and you could have shot that 3 different ways and made it look cute. You at least cute. It could have looked cute. It wasn't even cute. It was ugly. It was rough. It was like sandpaper against bare ass. Just rough.
Yikes.
It wasn't it. It wasn't it. And then, okay, this has been on my heart and it's been pissing me off. What the fuck was his plan? What did you think? What you set up here and wrote this shit and was like, yeah, we gonna do this. This is what we gonna do. Yeah. So the driving force gonna be we gonna get because he attractive and I want to do sex scenes. So I gotta find a way to get him in here. So this is what we gonna do.
Yep.
We gonna milkman it up. We gonna just make him. We just gonna make it catches strays today because I'm offended. Because we just gonna make him like, yeah, he the uncle and he gonna steal the baby. Who the fuck cares? What? You could get access to the baby whenever you want. Right. They're new parents. Right. You could always take the baby. Right. You could always
be
take
a part of the village. Don't try to steal the baby.
Don't try to steal
exactly.
The baby.
And if you're like the baby wants to come live with me for a while, they probably be about that as they go to boarding school or something.
As he gets older, go to spend summers with
Uncle
A.
There's a million scenarios here where you could be in the child's life. That man is a lawyer. He's busy as fuck. Right. He's probably they have a million. This just didn't make any damn sense.
It was a leap.
I was just like, y'all just wanted to make a movie. I respect it. Look, you just wanted to make a movie. You got your friends together. I respect that you did this. But I don't accept your plot lines. I don't accept them. I had to get that off my heart. But yeah, that was all. That was it.
All right. Well, appreciate your thoughts. So does this movie do it for the culture for you?
Absolutely not.
No.
Really?
It's a no for me too. I think it's a shame for the culture. I don't even want nobody to think that shit was okay. With everybody sleeping with everybody and everybody knows they baby daddies and it was just a mess.
Jack's on a bike.
Yeah, nah. I can't co-sign on this one, dog.
That mean y'all wouldn't recommend it to anybody?
Hell no.
No. Not nobody I like.
Like to do what? To do what? Like for them to be upset at me? People regard me as a purveyor of fun cinema. How dare I would send it? They would never let me watch it. Suggest another film again.
Oh man,
like, I don't know. Tristan fucked up with that last one. I'd be skeptical.
I'd be
skeptical.
Because it took me 20 minutes to realize that it was the same movie or the same cast. I'm gonna give it a 1 fist, just one.
Dang.
I'm not gonna give it 1 fist just because I do appreciate that you were able to get this made and you got the same cast back. You know, there was some crumb of continuity. I'm gonna give it
2.
I'm gonna give it 2. I wanted to say 1.5, but I just couldn't. Something in my heart made me give it the 2. So I'm gonna give it 2 fists. 2 fists. Wop, 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 wop.
That's fair. I would recommend it if you've watched the first one. And I feel if you watch the first one, I recommend just watching the second, just see where the story goes. That's what I would recommend. If you ain't watched the first one, then it's whatever. I would give it. I feel like the first one I gave like a 3.5. I think this one is probably like a 2.5. Like it did go down. Like Sean said, a lot of this was kind of like unnecessary. The whole kidnapping thing was just like grasping
could
at
have done
straws,
anything
like
else. It could have been
Mhm.
like, we trying to steal the firm from Kevin or something like that.
yeah.
You know? Or they could have had somebody who was in on it from the start, and then they were trying to ruin her practice or something. It could have been a rival psychiatrist, something. I'd have believed it.
Yeah, so I'll give it 2.5.
I feel like this is like the Matrix 4. You know, like the first two were really good. That third one, they tied it off. I was like, I accepted.
I didn't even
the fourth
finish
one,
the fourth.
Right. I haven't even finished it. And there you go. You don't even have to finish it. That's all I'm saying.
All right. Well, I think that's going to wrap up the Two Wrongs universe for us. Even if there is a third, I don't think I'll make y'all sit through it.
No.
They say 3 wrongs don't make a right.
Hey,
They better not.
Right.
They better not. They better not.
They might.
Nah, man. If they
On
make a
Tubi,
three,
they might.
if they make a 3 wrongs, I'm calling Purell personally, and I'm going to demand that they pull their sponsorship from this movie. I'm demanding it because I'm upset.
You call wrong, wrong, and wrong.
Wrong, and wronger.
Wrong as hell. It need to be just wrong as hell. That's
wrong
the name
as
of the
hell.
movie.
Dead ass wrong.
Wah. That's what Kanye be talking. Wah. Wrong as hell.
Well,
That's
I mean,
what that is.
if it took 8 years to make this one, it might take another 8 years to make the next. And by then, we'll probably be elevated to doing something.
We really not going to recognize the cast by then.
They going to be 50 at that point. Oh, my goodness.
Who is this woman?
Okay. All right. Well, that wraps it up for me. I appreciate y'all suffering through Two Wrongs 2 with me.
Until the next time, guys. But before we get out of here, please check us out on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, wherever you get your podcasts. You know, like, subscribe, and join the conversation. If you enjoyed Two Wrongs 2, we definitely want to hear from you. We definitely want to hear from you. We want to hear from you immediately.
Okay.
Not last week, but not now, but right now. I need to know what's going on with you. Other than that, y'all, until the next time, we out.
Bye.
Bye.